Using music to rebuild an Alabama town hit by a tornado. Up next, country legends George Jones and Lori Morgan join me in studio to discuss their new CD right here on Fox Business.
The sound that saved a wretch like me
are so beautiful. To me.
That is Lori Morgan on a new album where music is making a difference. March 1st, 2007, a tornado ripped through Alabama's Wiregrass region, and Enterprise High School was directly in that tornado's path. Now, a group of country artists have come together to help the town and rebuild the school. Country Music Hall of Famer George Jones is here, and another legend, Lori Morgan, just two of the artists lending their talents to the CD, We Are Enterprise, produced by Ronnie Gilley, who has also organized the Bama Jam, a three-day music festival to help the people of the community. Welcome to all three of you.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
George, how did you wind up involved in this album, in this project? And why did you do it?
Well, I think somebody notified me about it, you know, by just talking, and so we had a talk with Ronnie on the phone, and he wanted to meet us, and we gathered in with him and had a meeting, and I just fell in love with the idea, and it's going to be a great big extravaganza.
And we heard the song that you recorded on the album, Amazing Grace, as we were going to break, and I yelled at my producer, doggone them for playing that, because I can't hear that without tearing up and getting choked up.
What a song. You know, everybody in the world, I guess, has cut it one time or the other. It's just it's a beautiful song, and it's so beautiful that anyone can sing it. I believe
nobody like you, though, George. Nobody like you.
There's only one George.
But Lori, is this a testament, though, to the close community that is country music?
I think it is. I think it is a great testament to what country music is all about. We're about help, and we're about loving each other, and about reaching out and really extending a helping hand. And this, when we got approached by Ronnie to do this, I thought it was just a wonderful, wonderful thing that all of us could come together and do an album, and that all the proceeds would go to help rebuild this high school and to the community. So that's what country, to me, that's what country music is about. It's what the country music family is about anyway.
And Ronnie, you've been focused not just on this terrible event in Enterprise, but giving back in general. And do you ever encounter other artists who say no? Does anybody ever say no?
You know, really, we need to give credit where credit's due. Probably, arguably, the most successful country music producer of all time, James Stroud, was instrumental in this particular album. And I don't think we had a single person that was asked to participate say no. And of course, James has got a long-standing relationship in Nashville, in that community, and has produced over 100 #1 hits. And again, his relationships extend way, way, way beyond. And no, we had no one decline the opportunity to perform on this album and give back to a community that desperately needed it at the time. You know, we lost seven students during that tornado. Tragedy.
Right, tragedy,
yeah.
Tragedy. I want to focus, though, on business a little bit. And George, to this, because the folk growing up listening to really nothing but country music with my grandmother, the focus in that business has always been on touring and performing. It seems like the rest of the music industry is getting on board with that and realizing that that's really the ticket in the online world.
Well, I don't know if I quite understood you just right.
Basically, the rest of the music industry now, and Lord, you also can jump in here, understands the power of touring and the importance of touring and performing as the business. That is the business.
It is the business.
That is the business, yeah. You can get a hit record, and they pay you good for it if it's a big hit, but that little bit time they take everything out is not so important
As your touring
financially.
dates.
And that's
But where you make your living is on the road, you know.
That's right.
And that sort of coincides with what we're doing in Alabama and creating a circuitry of entertainment with Country Crossings. And our objective is to truly create a world-class entertainment extravaganza, which encompasses that touring aspect, that these artists can make a great living and then create an equitable distribution of opportunity, if you will, which is exactly what we're doing in the Wiregrass region of Alabama, and everyone's excited about it.
Or it's not always on the road, you know. We're not always having to be on the road to make money. I mean, that's a big thing with a lot of us artists. You know, it's like you get on the road, you get worn out, you get tired. And with going down to do Country Crossings, we get to go down there and
It's in Dothan, Alabama.
in Dothan and have, you know, our restaurants and be able to sing and be able to, you know, kind of be in a home type situation versus being worn out there on the road all the time.
Now, give us an update, though, because you just started construction on it now, and I personally want to be able to stay in the George Jones Possum Holler bed and breakfast.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying bed and bath.
We have to keep him straight on exactly what that
You
is.
have to keep me straight on.
You know, that entity will be finished in approximately 6 months. It'll be dried in, if the weather permits, within the next 2 weeks. The primary facilities, phase 1, will be completed by year end. And you know what's spectacular about what we're doing in the Wiregrass of Alabama is we're sort of reversing the unemployment trend that exists today in our economy. You know, we will employ by year end in excess of 1,200 people, new jobs, over the next 7 years in excess of 6,000 jobs with an entertainment extravaganza. So, in rural Alabama.
I know it well, actually. I want to get I want you to give people at home your advice for success and lasting and sticking with it.
Well, the only thing I can tell you, you know, it's a funny business anymore, especially today from what it was back when I had, you know, my thing going. But the only thing I can say is you got to really love what you're doing. You got to love it. And if you trying to do 2 or 3 other things, I think you're wasting your time by not devoting all your time on the one thing. And if you want to be a singer and be in the business, you've got to keep trying. And most that love it succeed sooner or later.
That's right.
So it's just the breaks that come to you if you're sincere. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're honest with yourself, and if you do have anything to offer at all for the business, then you're going to be noticed, you know.
Lori?
Well, you know, I've been through some really adverse situations, I think, in my career and personal life, but I think the one thing that I have really learned in the past few years is that I've been very fortunate to surround myself with people I can trust. And that's a big thing, is knowing who you can trust in this industry, especially with your money and with your image and things like that, is really important to me, because I have really got a rude awakening in the last few years with not picking the right people sometimes to surround myself with in business.
Well, there's a whole songbook in that.
You better believe it.
That's what country music is.
You better
built
believe
on.
it, yes.
Lori, it was great to see
Thank you.
Lori Morgan
My pleasure.
and Ronnie Gilley and George Jones.
Thank you so much.
You need no introduction. We all know you. The album is We Are Enterprise. It is aimed at rebuilding the high school in Enterprise, Alabama. It was a joy and a pleasure to see all 3 of you. And then Bama Jams next week.
Bama Jam.
Absolutely.
Jam.
Down in the Peanut Field in South Alabama. Largest music festival in the country. Come join us.
Peanuts and Bama and country music.
You can't beat it.
Cannot beat it.
Refreshes the mind, body, and soul, and I think everybody needs that right now.
Yeah.
They sure do. Thank you so much, all 3
Thank
of
you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, everybody. This is Fox Business.